Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Check. What up, world? It's the man with the plan, Burt McGurk, aka PR, the King of Hearts, and you are now tuned into Clocking Out, the podcast you listen to when you need to get motivated and inspired to doing bigger and better things. What is going on, everybody? I decided to just jump on a live stream and say, fuck it. For anyone who hops in, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I truly do appreciate the love and support. It does mean a lot. We have to definitely lower this music in the background before we get hit with some copyright stuff. You know what? Let me try and find something. In all honesty, I wanted to do a live stream just because I want to find a way to record, document, and then have some content to edit later on. If anyone does hop on and I manage to not see you in the chat, I apologize. Also, for whatever reason, it's only showing it's saying not all chat is available. I'm using StreamYard, of course, so we have some technical difficulties every now and then. But yeah, so it says someone's watching. Who's watching? All right, hold on, let's get this music thing back on. I like having some type of background music on. All right, that's not bad. We can do that. You know what? Hold on, I gotta turn off this fan. All these extra sounds I'm picking up, and it's bothering me. Sometimes people say they don't notice it or hear it, but I do. And then later on, when I'm trying to edit stuff, it kind of then it defeats the purpose of me even doing this. So I wanted to jump on here. I wanted to just stream. I'm trying to make streaming more normal for me, as far as as before. It was really easy to book people and get people to come on here and talk with me and kick it with me and just shoot the shit. And then it moved on to people expressing about themselves and everything like that, and they just turned into this thing that I really started enjoying. I got caught up on work, and then it feels like I fell off big time. It was good like 6 months that went by. I was just focused on work, and I didn't see the time just slipping by. And now I'm trying to get back in this. And I'm trying to find a way to, just basically come up with my own little flow of things. There was a lot of ups and downs with this though, man, because I almost didn't make Clocking Out, or I almost didn't continue with it. And I guess that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. So we're gonna get into it. I'm just trying to make sure all these settings and everything are good. Again, if anyone does hop in here, I apologize if I don't see you in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. It's not on purpose. So, all right. So let's get into it, man. So I decided to stream today, right? And I decided to stream today. It's the 1st of July. And I kind of came up with this I guess this little like goal that I'm trying to achieve, right? What I would like to do is I would like to stream every day this month, right? I saw that there's a bunch of other streamers doing something like that this month. And I was like, you know what, it'll be cool if I could do that. And then I was like, why can't I do it? Another thing I've really been getting interested in is trying to stream across not only just one or two platforms, but all of them that let me do live streaming and just cover all platforms all at once. Not the only thing is, behind it is that I just want to try to multitask and try to cover as much ground as I can to make up for lost time, in all honesty. I've learned the hard way that if you're not on everything, and it kind of gets you can get burned out that way. But if you don't have your stuff on everything, you're missing one or two people, and those one or two people could be the people that help your stuff go to the next level, or take you to that next level by being your support system, or being the first few people to help build a community and everything. So you never know. So I'm always trying to be all over the place. But from looking into all these different apps and everything, I started seeing that all these streamers, like big time streamers, wanted to do this thing for 90 days that they're going to be live streaming all day. But what they're going to be doing is nothing compared to what I'm doing, in the sense of they're streaming for hours. I'm probably just doing this for an hour or so if I can. I'm fitting it into my schedule, trying to make things work. But I would like to just try to make this something that is second nature, and it's taken a while. So it's like right now it gets hard to get people in. Hey, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. I appreciate it. How you doing? And it gets hard with balancing it out with the scheduling and everything like that. So I'm trying to work it in there. I'm trying to find a content creating system that works, that doesn't take up too much time, but that lets me do what I have to do. And I don't want to waste anyone else's time. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. If you're coming in here, I would like to provide you with value. If you're going to stop at any of the social media profiles, I want to make sure you got something out of it. And so I started looking at how I could do it. And the only thing that I could think of is just trying to produce more content. The more content that I could produce, the more stuff that I could put out, the more eyes are going to see it, the more ears are going to listen. And that's the only thing that's going to help me. The only problem that I had is that I wasn't producing enough content. Hold on one second. Little things I keep picking up and it's bothering me. So I got to like close doors and windows and stuff now. Anyway, so I got inspired by seeing all these other content creators do this thing where they're doing like streaming marathons. And I've had an idea of doing a streaming marathon in the past, and I wanted to do it with a bunch of other, creators and streamers that were in certain communities that I was a part of. And I reached out to a bunch of people a long time ago, and I tried making something happen, and it didn't quite go that way. And a lot of people, it just, nothing happened. I reached out, I shared my idea. At the time, I had a couple things going on, but again, this was months ago. And, I guess little things like that just became discouraging. And I started just looking at it, like, you know what, maybe I should just focus on something else for now, and this isn't the time for it. And so I just kept coming up with excuses to say that it was okay, that things weren't working out fine. And so what happened is that I started forgetting what the reason was that I created Clocking Out for in the first place. So I decided to just try to take the time, not just rush into always thinking negative and everything like that. I have a lot of people in my life lately that have been very positive and trying to show me and teach me to just be more patient with myself, to watch my temper, my anger, my frustration, my stress, you know what I'm saying? Just to be more patient with myself and trying to find a solution that's less draining, I guess, you know what I'm saying, of my energy when things aren't as bad as I make it seem, or I think they are. And so with that, I decided to start just backtracking and ask myself, why did I create Clocking Out? What's the reason behind it? What made me want to do this in the first place out of all things I could do? What was it that didn't bother me before being on here streaming constantly and talking to people for hours? Like, now I have like a limit where I do an hour-long stream, or I try to keep it within that window because I have so much stuff going on. Before, I would just sit here and just talk to people for hours. I'd be on here for 2, 3, 4 hours, you know what I'm saying? And it would never bother me. I would love it. It was fun to me. I love talking to people. Being so busy and always being working, I never really had the opportunity to socialize, I guess, you know what I'm saying, unless like there was an event or a family gathering. And you'd always see the same people, but it's not until you bump into people that you don't see, like, friends of your family or friends of friends and things like that. And I rarely have those opportunities. Everyone's always busy, you know what I'm saying? Life is lifing, so it was very, I guess, hold on. Sorry, had a phone call. But life is life. And with all of that, basically I just I started losing touch with a lot of people. And with that, hey, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in and Kick. I truly appreciate it. Everyone for showing love. Make sure that you're following, make sure that you're liking and sharing and all that stuff. I'm still trying to learn how Kick works. So if anyone's down to help me out with that, shout out to you. But anyway, so I don't want to lose track. I want to make sure that I focus on this to make the content. So basically, what I started backtracking and I started thinking about what inspired me to make Clocking Out. And originally, like I mentioned a million times, Clocking Out was originally just a title that I came up for a music mixtape that I was going to do as an independent music artist. And I decided that I was going to make this mixtape, and it was right before COVID. So what I did is I had some money that I had that I put together, and I was trying to work on setting up like a home studio so that I would have a place to record and I could make this project. And the whole plan was to document everything and live stream every, studio session and just get people real involved and build a community, all that good stuff. And in the process of doing this, I wanted to also collaborate with other artists. So I was like, if I have a studio, it'll be easier for people just to come here and we work together. There's no reason for coming up with excuses of not having the funds and all that stuff. But then, of course, like I mentioned, it was right before COVID hit. When COVID hit, no one wanted to come near each other. No one wanted to mingle or conversate in person or nothing. Everything was just done online. So I was forced to pivot my idea from doing, recording and everything like that in the studio with people in person to switching it to only doing things online via the internet. So with that, I was doing a lot of things via email back and forth. And then it evolved into live streaming with people and working with them live and recording live, which I haven't done before. But with the evolution of technology, it's something different. So I decided to give it a try, and I started doing recording sessions with people over streams. Then that led to just every now and then we'd have random conversations, and I've noticed that these conversations I was having with people, again, I was recording all these sessions, and the conversations I was having with people had more value than anything else that I was doing. I would go back and I would listen just for my benefit to take notes from the conversation, from the things that the people were sharing with me based off of their firsthand experiences. And I noticed like, yo, this is some good stuff. Like these are some good gems. Like they're giving some valuable information. So of course I went and I asked these people if they were cool if I shared it. Like, my original plan was just to take little clips and put it out there and share it with people. And instead, what I did is I looked at it like, that was around the time podcasting started taking off. And I decided to, let me just share this with people and change my idea of me making a mixtape called Clocking Out and solely focusing on me clocking out in my journey. Why don't I try to focus on putting some of that time and energy on shedding some light on the other underdogs, on the other independent artists, independent business owners and creators and artists that are just trying to get out there, but they're not getting enough attention because they don't put their stuff out there, or they do put their stuff out there, but they don't know how to properly do it, or they don't, not that I know neither, but I felt like if we had more people helping, I guess, bring more attention to one another and having these open conversations and sharing these thoughts and these thoughts and ideas with other like-minded people openly, it would attract other people that had the same thoughts and ideas, and they would come and want to join in and want to support one another and give feedback. And just the whole point was just to build a community of people that are looking forward to really helping independent artists. I know when I was an independent artist and I was trying to put stuff out there, the number one thing that I had a problem with was getting feedback from other people I did not know. And then the internet comes along and you think, okay, this is the best thing. But when you put yourself out there, you get critiqued more in a negative way where people are like, oh, you suck and this and that, just because that's the thing to do. Then there is more people to say that you did a good job or to really critique it and tell you, listen, you could fix this and this, or maybe this would be better, or the tempo or the beat or whatever. Like, it's really rare to come across that. But nowadays it's totally different. You got sites that are specifically designed for those type of things where you go and you put it up there. And the whole point is for people specifically to give you real feedback. It's not just like all these other sites that are just all opened out there, Wild West style, where people just go on your account and just start talking reckless, and you got to go through the process of blocking them and reporting them and all that stuff like that. So it's like the more and more that things evolve digitally, the more and more I started realizing that there was an opportunity there to collaborate and work with other creators without worrying about distance, without worrying about having to book, studios and all that stuff like that. So it made it easier to have conversations with people. So I totally pivoted my idea from having a recording studio and bringing people to the recording studio physically to work on projects, to starting doing things online, to then we started having conversations, to then like it just kept evolving and evolving into what it is today. And it's something that I lost sight of for quite a while, and I had to revisit it. I had to go back and I had to ask myself, like, yo, why is it that you made Clocking Out? What is it that inspired you in the first place? to really make this. And even with that, I have to be honest, and I literally considered walking away a few times from it, just because the thoughts and ideas that I get when I think of clocking out and what it could be and what I'm trying to create it into, it seems way too out there. Like, it seems unreachable, it seems unattainable, it seems like it's something that's a little bit too difficult, especially for someone in my position, right? So it's like, I tried a few times to do it in many different ways. And last time it had momentum and it was building up. But again, real life took over. It was one of those things like, am I gonna just do this and risk the opportunities that I'm getting for something else? Or am I gonna take that opportunity and then just come back to this in time and give it the focus again? And I made that decision. I went and I took the opportunity of going and working and doing all these other things. And that led me to losing the focus on the podcast. On live streaming, on connecting with other people, on networking, on going to events and all these things like that. So it's like the more and more time that went on, it went from one day to a week to a month to 2 months to three, then 6 months went by, and everything was out of whack. Thank God I have a lot of people who were very supportive in me coming back, who wanted to jump back on the podcast, who are always reaching out, always giving feedback, whether it's text messages, DMs, whatever it is. I appreciate all of you who take the time to hit me up and stay in contact. I know I suck with that personally. I'm always all over the place. And I know it's no excuse, because a lot of you are as busy or even more busier than me and still manage to hit me up. So I'm working on it. I'm trying my best. It's one of my flaws, but I'm getting there. But in all honesty, through the process of everything that I was doing, I really felt like I was gonna give up on the idea. And I have a homeboy. I say his big brother Ben Kine. He's an amazing person. He's an amazing artist. He's a tattoo artist, an artist just in general. And every now and then that I think anything negative like that, like giving up, I always think back to the conversations I had with. I'm not crying. I really got something in my eye. Not that I wouldn't cry for Ben. I cry for you, Ben. Don't worry about it, buddy. But yeah, nah. So I would always think back to the conversations that I had with Ben. And anytime those thoughts would come up of me wanting to give up, or see, I turned the fan off and it's getting hot. Anytime those conversations would come up when I was talking to Ben about like giving up on the idea or feeling like it wasn't getting nowhere or anything like that, he'd always tell me the same stuff, man. Like, yo, like, you got to stop that. You have an idea, you're putting out there for a reason, you're staying consistent, you're reaching out to people are supporting you. And he always tells me the same thing as far as reaching out to the community, asking for help and things like that. But it's one of those things that we know it's what we should be doing. We all know what we should be doing to better the situations that we're in or to fix a problem that we're having, but we're just stubborn. We're stubborn to the fact of, one, asking for help, two, admitting we need help, period, in general, even to ourselves, or three, just being able to let people help us, because there's people willing to help. There are people that care about you. There's people that want to see you succeed. There's people that want to help you get to that next level. You know what I mean? That not necessarily hold your hand throughout the whole process, and you need to depend on them. But at the end of the day, there's people that are willing to help you. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard. It's hard to admit it. It's hard to accept the help. It's hard to reach out to people and say, listen, can you help me? Especially if you've done it once or twice and you didn't get such a great response or great welcoming, into that environment. And you start questioning, is it that it's me? Is it that I'm not good enough? Is it my idea? Like, you start overthinking about everything. And at the end of the day, it's no different than just social media and online. You can't let that shit get to you. You just got to let it, you know what I mean? And keep it moving. And the difference between, but what I started noticing when I was thinking about all this as to why I wanted to just out of nowhere, I'm going to stream every day. And then I started thinking back to like, yo, you want to do this, but are you going to stay committed to it? I wanted to announce it on social media. I'm streaming for 30 days, but then I'm like, you know what if I can't? You know what I mean? That's the first, again, negative thoughts in my head. What if I can't? What if I can't stream every day? What if something happens? I'm like, yo, so people understand, you know what I mean? Then I started thinking of excuses. You could take, but I'm like, nope. I'm going to go from the first, I'm going to do 30 days straight to the end of the month. I'm going to do it for July. And then I'm like, maybe I'll just do it Monday through Friday. Maybe, just to give myself some leeway to go into it. So I don't know. I've been playing around with it, and I just saw all these other streamers doing it. It made me think about it. And then it just led me down the rabbit hole as to like, yo, you going to commit to it? Are you going to stick to those 30 days? Are you going to stick to even Monday through Friday streaming every day? You know what I mean? And in my head, it all looks good and it sounds good on paper because, I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what, I could do these solo streams. I could book a person each week. I have a lot of people I can ask to come on the podcast. And out of those people, I know a handful to do it. All I need is at least 3 or 4. And if I get more than that, that's even better. And then all I got to do is stay consistent with myself coming on here and talking and being on for at least an hour. Like, and it's not even that I'm thinking about algorithm or getting followers or any of that stuff. I'm literally just thinking about being consistent. What is it that's in my control that I can keep consistent so I can keep doing this? Because in all honesty, I know right now it gets one of those things where 1 or 2 people pop in. Or if not, no one shows up for a whole live stream. But then afterwards, everyone watches the clips or they watch the pre-recorded stuff. You know what I mean? And then I've seen the growth. I firsthand have done it. It's just one of those things that you already done the process. And when you see that it's going and it has some momentum, you get a little cocky or you think everything's all right and it's all good. And then you leave and then you come back and you notice, oh shit, I fucked up. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where I just got to get back in it. Got to get back with the consistency and making the content. You know what I mean? If no one knows what you're doing and you don't put it out there, how do you expect people to come tune in and the support and all that? So it's going to take a few streams of people not interacting in the chat, only coming in and watching and leaving, or not coming in at all and only watching the shorts, the reels, and the clips and all that stuff like that, which is what I try to put out there. But it's also about providing the value to make people come to the show. But anyway, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone who comes into the chat, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Please, I'm still new to the kick thing, and I see all the bot stuff. I'm gonna learn how to get rid of that, like I did on Twitch and all that stuff like that. But for anybody else who's genuinely coming in to show some love and support, I truly appreciate it. I hope I can bring you some value. We're just, I'm talking about why I almost gave up on my idea for clocking out. It's something that I'm trying to build up. And yeah, go ahead. But all right, so I went down the rabbit hole of of clocking out, and I wanted to basically just remind myself of why I made it, how it started, how it came about, and that's what's been in my mind. You know what I mean? I felt like clocking out was something that I could have benefited from when I was younger and I was first coming up as an independent artist, and I could have took advantage of. And I just feel like it's a dope idea that if it exists. So I just want to make it exist. I want to make it real. I want to put it out there in the world. I want another independent artist to benefit from it. I always tell myself that if I was able to really get the type of support that I was really looking for when I was first coming up and doing music, I felt like I could have made it to the moon. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people feel like that. So I feel there's so much help and assistance in certain things. But when it comes to being an independent artist, a lot of stuff is like go out there, figure it out yourself and everything. And I don't necessarily think it needs to be that way. Yes, I think people are only going to learn through firsthand experiences, but I don't believe that it needs to be so to the point where people can't ask for help or they can't have someone give them that helping hand until they know they can do it on their own and be like, all right, you're good. You can let go. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I have all these ideas that I know I want to try to execute. And whenever I think of giving up, I think back to that. And it gives me that second win. You know what I'm saying? It gives me that little gas to keep going and to move and push forward because I keep thinking about that. I keep thinking about little me and another version of little me that's out there somewhere that's looking like, yo, I just need someone to be like, yo, you're doing everything good, just fix this right here, or you just go this way, or work on this, or read this book, or try this out, or watch this video. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it seems like it's right in front of our face, but still we don't see it until someone points it out. And I feel like it'll be dope. No, I'm cool, man. Thanks. So I almost gave up on it. And with all that, man, I learned the difference between quitting out of defeat versus pushing out of reflection. And that's where it all started clicking to me because, again, I started looking back and reflecting on why I wanted to do it, how I went from, I don't know if I could do this, to then out of nowhere getting inspired from seeing other streamers and saying, you know what, I want to stream for 30 days or I want to try to stream for 30 days, or I'm going to try, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just get these boosts of confidence because I see all these other people doing amazing things. And I'm like, yo, I know that what I have or what I'm trying to create and what I have in my mind is one of those special things. It's just trying to put it out there. And it's the same thing. It's, we all know what we got to do to get out of our problems and solve the situations, to get out of the situations that we're in and solve the problems that we're having. We all know what we got to do. It's just doing it. And I know what I got to do. The whole thing is I got to make more content. I got to stream more. I got to interact with people more. And I got to put more stuff out there. If people don't know what you are doing, they will not come. They will not come and show love. They're not going to come and support. They're not going to come and join. They're not going to talk about it to nobody. No one's going to go to your site. No one's going to buy your shit. It's, you know what I mean? And the whole point I even have any of that set up is the main focus is to make sure that we have a way to support the other independent artists in some way. And I'm telling you, I know it's going to be something that's definitely going to click and it's going to work. And I know for a fact that a lot of people are going to benefit from it. But anyway, so I have a whole bunch of like notes here. I've been like talking to myself for the past weekend and writing things, especially when I'm at work. And in all honesty, the real question behind everything was, is it worth it anymore? Was it worth the stress and you know, oh, am I gonna make it out of work in time to stream at 7? Am I going to be able to edit all these videos in time around the same time that I just dropped the podcast or the live stream? Or a lot of things were coming into play, and I was coming up with a lot of like excuses, asking myself if it was worth it, if I could do it. And then again, I had to switch what I was saying. I had to switch the way I was looking at things, and I had to tell myself, why are you looking at it like that, instead of saying, when I finish all this, it will be worth it. When I get through all this stuff, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be easier. It's going to get better. It's going to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I started telling myself, little by little, little by little. And it's like, I think I can. And it started working. I started getting a little more cocky with stuff. I started, you know, I've been out there by myself with my DJI, like, you know, the Pocket 3, you know what I mean? Just recording myself and out there in public in front of people with my phone, recording myself and posting more videos and things like that. Just getting more comfortable in my own skin and just with the spur of the moment of having an idea and being okay with recording it or saying it or writing it down or talking about it or whatever, instead of always overthinking like I was before. And that's something that really helped me through it. And the things that really came to mind when I wanted to think about stopping was the dumb stuff. Like being online and seeing other content creators put out stuff, or see other people celebrate their success that they were having from launching something or selling out of something or creating something and having people like it and give feedback or tune in. Or I started getting jealous. I started getting upset. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where I was like, if they could do it, I could do it. And if that looks good, I know I could do better. And it was little things like that. And again, it was that thing in my head of just, again, looking for an excuse to say it was okay that I didn't put in that time, that effort, that I didn't just keep going. And the more and more that I thought about it, the more and more I was like, yo, the problem is that I took so much time off that instead of me paying attention to what I needed to really focus and fix, I started paying attention to what everyone else was doing, which was giving me confidence. I mean, which was getting me motivated to do stuff again. But at the same time, I was focused on the wrong thing. I was comparing myself instead of trying to just root for them and accept the fact that they were doing something and that I just needed to show up and show love and support like they would have to me. You know what I mean? And so the more and more that time went on and that happened, I started realizing that. But that was the one thing that would really get me to want to stop whenever I would think about it. I would always look at what other people were doing and I'd keep comparing myself. Comparing yourself is always one of the things that are really going to drag you down and slow you down in any process of whatever it is that you're trying to do, because you're going to put more time and energy on the other person. You got to focus on what you're doing. Focus on your race, not the other people on your left, your right, behind you or nothing like that. Just focus on your race, where you're going. Don't trip over your own feet. You know what I mean? And honestly, what pulled me back in to wanting to have conversations with people and support people, and just to in general just interact with society again, instead of just being in my own little closed bubble, just focusing on making it to work and coming back and doing the same thing repetitively over and over. I again was just thinking about the amount of people, or the person, even if it's just one, that would benefit if and when this becomes what I see it and I envision it in my head. And that's the only thing. Every time I think about it, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I keep thinking back to myself when I was little. I'm like, yo, like, you still waiting. You still waiting to open those doors to that building, and you know what I mean? Or hit play on that video or that podcast and get that motivational speech he needs to get to that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give up. So I'm going to keep moving forward with that. I want to make sure that I make this into exactly what I envision in my mind, if not bigger and better. And that's what keeps me going forward. That's what's been pushing me through and telling me to keep having these conversations with people, to keep supporting other people, to keep rooting for other people, to stop comparing myself to them, and to just realize that we're all in the same fight, where we're trying to just get to a better place than where we were yesterday. So there's no reason that each of us can't help one another get there. There's none whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? There's enough for all of us to eat. There's enough space for all of us to move up. There's enough. There's enough for everybody. There's no reason to be greedy or selfish and none of that stuff, man. So I don't look at it that way. Let's see, what are we going on? All right, so what I want to talk about next is why it's okay to hit walls. We can all hit walls. We're all gonna hit, whether it's writer's block, whether it's writer's block, or whether it's that creative mental block that we get, where we get too anxious, or we get too focused on the wrong thing, or we get too caught up on the wrong thing, and we're wasting time on other stuff, and we get burnt out. But basically, we all hit that wall. We all hit this point where it stops us, and we feel like shit, we can't go nowhere, and we forget that it's a wall, but the wall was made somehow. There's going to be a side, a top, a bottom, whatever. If you can't get over it, go around it. You can't get around it, go under that motherfucker and come out the other side. But don't let any fucking wall or any obstacle get in your way of what you know for a fact that you have to achieve, that you have to accomplish, that goal that you're trying to get to. Stop coming up with excuses. And if you're not going to come up with an excuse, you better damn well not let anybody else stop you from moving forward neither. Not through their excuses, not from their experiences, not from their knowledge or whatever they have. Don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do something, or you're not going to make it, or it's not possible, or nothing like that. Go out there and find out for yourself. Find out for yourself, because I guarantee you, once you realize and you stop that whole fear shit, whether you can or you can't, or you don't know if you can or if you should, and you just go for it because you want to, and you give it a shot, you're going to be surprised at how fucking capable you are to achieve the goals that you are setting yourself in your own mind. I promise you that, because it's the same thing that happened with me. I kept thinking, based on the things that other people were telling me, making me feel stupid, or like I wasn't educated enough, or I couldn't handle certain things. Once I started doing things by myself, because I got desperate enough that I got tired of asking, or I got embarrassed of asking and having people make me feel bad for saying that I needed help and that I didn't know, or could you teach me or point me in the right direction? I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And again, technology has evolved so much that it's a click away, bro. Whether it's Chat GPT or Gemini or any of these YouTube or TikToks or bro, there's no excuse why you can't go out there and learn how to do something that you're interested in doing, and just put it into practice, make it a consistent thing in your routine, and I guarantee you'll get better at it. And if not, you'll learn if you really care about it or don't. And right there, you just saved yourself time of going to school or all this other stuff. But it's those little steps that you take of actually trying that you'll start learning that if this is for you or not. And those are the same steps and things that I was going through with clocking out. Like, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things that I'm still going through right now. I'm still trying to figure out how to get around that wall, how to get over it, how to get under it. Because every now and then that wall pops up. It just comes like one of those, like in the video games where it just comes up while you're driving or something, or there's just but it's like a puzzle. You got to find, there's always a hidden key or some type of passcode or some type of dance or song. There's something you could do to get past that wall, but there's never any good enough excuse for you to stay stuck at that wall or to turn back around. You know what I mean? You already came so far, so why not just keep pushing forward? And that's what I kept telling myself. All these things that I'm sharing with you guys are things that I've told myself in those situations where I was questioning what I was doing, why I was doing it, and if I should continue. What I want to advise any of the viewers or any of the listeners, if you ever wanted to give up, here's what I like to tell you. All right. Look at how far you've come. Focus on the impact. All right. You got to focus on the impact that you're having on people, not the applause, because there's a lot of things that you're going to do that will go unnoticed. There's a lot of people that you're going to come across in life in this journey that you're going to end up helping, whether it's out of love, whether it's out of the feeling that you owe people something for them supporting you, or just giving you that helping hand that you needed, or that speech, that text, that phone call, whatever it was to get you over that wall that we were talking about. You're gonna feel like you owe something to those people. Those people will never ask for nothing, but you're gonna want to pay them back. But I say to pay them back, the best thing that you could do is to stay true to your mission, your goal, stay focused, show them that you're dedicated, show them that you're motivated, show them that you're going to make this happen. You know that you're capable, but you got to focus on those things. Don't focus on all the wins. Focus on your losses that you've had and how you've gotten back up and kept moving forward. Remind yourself of that. Anytime that you feel like you're going to give up or you got to turn around or it's not good, you got to remind yourself of that so you can keep focusing on moving forward. But one of the things that I'm telling you is that if you focus on the impact you have over the applause that you're getting for the things that you're doing, I promise you'll be way better off. You'll be way more happier, less stressful, and you'll be surrounded by the right people. That's another thing as well. But you got to be honest. You got to be honest with yourself. If you ever feel like giving up, and you got to ask yourself, is it that you really feel that you're not capable of doing it? Do you feel like it's a bad idea? Do you feel like no one cares? Or is it that you're just tired? Is it that you're just tired because you realize the amount of work, time, and energy that it takes to do what you're trying to do, and you're doing it, and you don't know how to really balance things out properly, and you just hit that wall again? And now you got no energy, you're not sleeping right, you're not eating right, you're not time managing your appointments or your job and editing and live streaming and going to events and networking with people and collaborating and your email responses and text messages, phone calls, whatever it is that you got to do, but you're not doing nothing right. You're getting burnt out. You're all over the place because you're piling all these different things up on your plate. You feel like you got to make a website. You feel like you got to make merch. You feel like you got to live stream every day. You feel like you got to clip 1 million content and put it across Instagram, Facebook, and Next, and YouTube, and Kick, and Twitter, and whatever fucking else exists. And you're all over the place. And then you did that for a week. And now you're like, shit, this is a bad idea. This sucks and no one likes it. And you haven't even scratched the surface. But you're coming up with excuses and you're blaming everybody else, saying that no one cares, no one wants to support, no one's showing up. You're saying your ideas suck. It's not going to help nobody. No one's interested. And it's not even that. No one's even seen you yet. You haven't even scratched the fucking surface, bro. No one has seen you yet. You haven't scratched the surface. And you're getting fucking tired and frustrated. In 1 week of posting 3 reels a day or 3 YouTube shorts or doing fucking 1 live stream a day or 2 live streams a week or 3, like, you know what I'm saying? And there's other people that literally live stream every day, 5 to 6 hours a day, talk nonstop. There's people that do this to the point where they got backpacks for batteries to attach to their phones and cameras and shit so they can record for fucking 12 hours a day straight. Like, are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? If this is what you're trying to do for streaming, being a professional athlete, are you ready to wake up at the crack of ass to go to the gym, to go work out, to go train, to go practice? You know what I mean? Like after a week or after just a couple days, we get a little taste of something and we think we want it, but then we get it and we realize the work that it takes to obtain it, to keep it, to keep it. Because that's another thing. A lot of people forget that once you get to where you want to be, it's not okay. We're trying to take a break. We made it here. Everyone's trying to get that spot. Pop out. Everybody's trying to get that spot. What are you going to do? How are you going to hold your spot? How are you going to hold your spot? How are you going to secure your spot? You're going to have to keep working. You have to keep working. You're going to have to shatter limits. You're going to have to just outwork everybody around you until you get to a point where you know what? I got enough. I know I don't got to worry about nothing. Everybody's going to be straight. We all Gucci. That's it. And that's it. You're good to go. Or you could just, keep at a steady pace, but stay consistent. Keep with everybody else. Making sure that you're keeping up with what the trends are and everything like that, and whatever niche or whatever category or whatever profession you're choosing to do. But you got to make sure that you stay consistent with it. You got to keep up with all the other people. You got to know what's going on. But a lot of people claim that they're not good enough, that they can't do it. Their ideas suck. No one cares. No one's going to come and show love or support. It's a bad idea. I shouldn't have did it. Why am I doing? And it's not even that. You're just tired. You're tired because you only got a little bit of a taste of what it's like or what's expected for you to even get to that first level of where you're trying to get to. And there's like 10 to 20 levels and you're just scratching the surface of the first one and you realize, damn, this is too much. Is that it? Is that what it is? Is the realization of the reality of what you have to do in order to obtain what you're trying to create or where you're trying to go or the person you're trying to become is really going to take for you to get there. That's another thing that I would ask you to ask yourself. If you're looking for some type of advice whenever it comes to you giving up, you got to do that. Look at how far you have come. Focus on the impact that you're leaving on people, not the applause that you're getting for the things that you're doing. And really ask yourself, are you really giving up because you can't do it? Because it's bad or you feel like it was a dumb idea or you shouldn't, or are you just giving up or you have the thought of giving up because you're just tired? I thought of all these things. I'm mentioning all this because I thought of all these things and I evaluated everything. I went back. I've asked myself why I started this. I've asked myself what was it that made me so comfortable and happy with doing this for hours and hours and booking people and looking to have conversations. I wasn't making money. You can go back and look at all the likes and views, and I'm not viral. It wasn't any of that. I really enjoyed having conversations with people. I really enjoyed learning. I felt like I was making friends. You get what I'm saying? I really felt like I was making friends through these conversations and interactions I was having with people. And I still do call a lot of these people friends. Despite maybe we haven't talked in some time, life is lifing. Life is lifing. So, you know what I'm saying? I completely understand that people, they got a lot of other things going on. But I enjoyed that. I thought about all that. I thought about what made me happy, what made me okay with losing sleep, staying up and editing and all that. And I enjoyed all those things. And I focused back on that. Then I started thinking about the amount of people that would reach out to me and they were so grateful that I had them on a podcast, and they would talk about the podcast. They would speak of me and the podcast so highly, like, oh my God, I never thought that I'd be on a podcast and I'd do a show and that made me feel good. I'm like, yo, you feel that special, bro? Not just guys, females also, but like you feel like, yes, and I had a great time and I enjoyed, those that made me feel special. It makes me feel special. It makes me feel special. It makes it. Hold on, we lost connection. We back though. I hope we back. I hope we okay. Um, but yeah, so for all my viewers, I say do that, man. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround you. I know you have some friends. There has to be someone around you in your life that's doing good. You know what I mean? My two is Eric and Brian. We'll probably get into that a little bit later or next time. But Eric is my best friend. Brian is a close friend also. I know him from high school, and again, I met him. I had class with him and everything, but I got more closer to Brian through Eric. Eric's always introduced me to all his friends and everything like that. And it's like, people, they attract to each other. You know how they say like barbers hang out with other barbers, bankers hang out with other bankers, things like that. Good people hang out with other good people. Good people who have good hearts hang out with other good people who have good hearts. Sometimes there are some bad people in the bunch that tend to make it in there, and it's only because the good people tend to see a little good in them and they want to help them reach that other side. And sometimes they do it and it's successful. Other times they fail and they get taken advantage of, and it's sad. But I say that to say, just don't always judge a book by its cover. Because if you would see Eric or you would see Brian, you wouldn't expect them to be the people that would openly talk to you, ask you how you are, lend you money, give you the shirt off their back, give you a place to stay, the food off their plate. And they're exactly like that. You know what I'm saying? Brian is an MMA fighter. You see this dude tall and fucking, you'd be like, yo, he's gonna kick me in the face and crack it in half. You know what I'm saying? And then Eric, you look at Eric, and Eric just looks like a big dude also, but he just has a serious face most of the time. So you think like, this dude's probably gonna curse me out or something, and then you get to talk to them, and you notice they're some of the nicest people you ever met with some of the biggest hearts. And I've had that same feeling with the people that I've gotten to meet and talk to online or in these communities. And it's a good feeling, man. So surround yourself with good people, put yourself out there. It's going to take a risk. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's going to work out the first time around. You're going to make some mistakes. There's going to be ups and downs. People are going to lie to you. People are going to try to take advantage of you. People will definitely try to steer you in the wrong direction, even not intentionally. They have that thing where they believe that everyone needs to stay where they are. So if they see you trying to be successful and make something of yourself, they want to try and put that thought in you to kill it so that you can stay with them, so you got to pick the people you hang out with wisely. Also, that's my only advice for anyone who's listening or viewing that's getting afraid of continuing moving forward with their thoughts, their ideas, and chasing their passions, and creating and putting themselves out there. Don't just do it. Just do it, bro. Just do it. Clocking out isn't about perfection, though. You know what I mean? Like I said, nothing is perfect. And in all honesty, what I wanted to do with clocking out was just create a place that gave you permission where you could be real. If you don't know something, you don't know. If you don't care about it, you don't care. But if you do, you have a place to show why you care about it. Show how you express why you care about it and how you feel about it. You know what I mean? Share it with people who actually care. Share it with people who actually want to listen, who actually want to support, who actually want to join you on your journey, who want to learn from you, who want to see what you're doing so they can learn from your firsthand experiences and not make the same mistakes twice. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that would like to do that. And with me all the time when I was thinking about clocking out and what I wanted to do, the legacy that I wanted to keep, I wanted to basically just create a safe space. I got a taste of something like that when I went to the V Friends community and I went to VCon, the second one. It was fucking amazing. I've never been surrounded by so many amazing, kind, warm-hearted people in the world. And it was amazing. Gary V did an amazing job setting that up, creating V Friends. And it was just an experience. I brought a friend of mine who had no idea about that world, about NFTs, about that community, who Gary V was, and I brought him with me, and he had a ball also. And it just goes to show that you don't necessarily need to be in that environment. You know what I mean? Good people is good people, man. It's like good food. If it's good, it's good. It don't matter what ethnicity is cooking it, what type of seasoning and where it came from or what. It don't fucking matter. Good is good. You know what I mean? And VCon was good. It was amazing. It was good for the soul. It was good for the heart. It was good for the gut. It was good for the body, the mind. It was good for everything, bro. It was good. VCon was good. I went to VCon at a point that I was going through a lot in my life, and I surrounded myself with some amazing, amazing, amazing fucking people. I learned a lot. I experienced a lot. I connected with a lot of people. And again, if it wasn't for Eric, I wouldn't have went. If it wasn't for Eric, I wouldn't have went. If it wasn't for Tim Livingston, who gifted me and Eric 2 tickets, we wouldn't have been able to go. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that. Again, another person from the V Friends community, an amazing person, an amazing creator, talented person. And again, surrounding yourself with the right people put me in a position to have the opportunity to go and have an experience of my life that I will never forget and that I will always be grateful for. So Gary V and everyone from the V Friends brand, company, business, whatever it is you want to say, and the community as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, Gary, for what you created. I'm so grateful you've managed to make a place that made so many of us feel safe and comfortable, where we can just be ourselves. And it was very inspiring. It was an idea that I had in my mind with what I wanted to do, and I didn't even realize it, that I was just trying to create a place for the younger kid in me to feel comfortable enough to be myself and not have to second thought or ask permission from the voice in my head. So thank you. Sorry, kind of forgot I was recording like live. Anyway, so that's the legacy I kind of wanted to leave with Clocking Out. It's like the same thing that I see V Friends it has made and created. And it's not about having dope NFTs or toys or comic books and all this stuff like that. Like all that is dope and it's cool and it's fun to collect and buy and trade and talk about. But it wasn't about that. It was the safe space that was provided for people to be themselves and not second guess the people that they were around. Everyone was in the same. Everyone wanted to be positive. Everyone doesn't want to feel alone. No one wants to feel unwanted. No one wants to feel dumb or like they don't know what they're talking about or they're not good enough. And in a lot of communities, it's like that. People try to like, bully you here and there to make decisions or to like, push you to think the way they think. And this community was nothing like that. Nothing like that whatsoever. And it's because of that I feel it gave me hope that my idea would work, that I could create this. From seeing it firsthand, I was like, yo, if this dude did this, you know what I'm saying? He was 30-something years old. I'm 30-something years old. He was working at his pop's house out of a liquor store. I don't work at my pop's liquor store, but I'm working. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, if a lot of things that happened with Gary and his story that he shares with a lot of people through all his talks, his videos and everything like that, I relate to a lot of it. And I looked at it like, yo, if he was able to do it, it gives me hope that I can do it too. And I've talked to Gary probably twice. And in those 2 times that I've talked to him, and when I say talk, I mean like literally it's probably like a 2-3 minute conversation, not even if I'm lucky. You get what I'm saying? You take a picture, you say a few things, you know what I mean? And he's respectful of everyone's time, but he wants to acknowledge the fact that he knows you're there, that he knows you support him and that he appreciates it. And he wants you to know, like, he does a good job of remembering who he spoke to. Like, he'll remember something and they'll come up. And because the first time I met him, he knew who I was from social media and he clicked on stuff from the name that I gave him. And I didn't think he'd remember. The second time I met him was at VCon and I took a picture with him. And there he also remembered from the first time. So it's like little things like that. Like, it makes you feel special. It shows that a person, he's doing this not just because, oh, you know what, this is good for money and good for attention. He actually gives a fuck. The motherfucker actually goes through the trouble of remembering something in some type of way about you. And to some people, it may be like, oh, okay, so, and I'll do that. All right, this motherfucker has thousands, if not millions upon millions of fucking followers, supporters, and collectors. And so many people go to see this guy in person, and he handshakes and photos and talks, and he remembers everybody, bro. Or at least he does a good job of remembering a good amount of people. So it goes to show that he gives a fuck, because if he did not give a fuck, he would not put in that time and energy to even bother remembering those people or those conversations and experiences that he had with them and those interactions. And I didn't give up, man. I keep saying that I gave up or almost did, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I just gave myself space to remember why I started. It was a good excuse to just go back. That's what I want to tell people too. If you ever feel like, oh damn, I gave up, I fucked up, I missed that day, I missed that week, I can't do it, I can't. You can start whenever. Don't ever give up on yourself. Just tell yourself even like I said before, instead of you always being negative, anytime you have a negative thought in your head, you just flip it around. Like instead of being like, I don't know if I could do this, be like, yo, what's gonna happen if I do? What's gonna happen when I do? You know what I mean? And then you start talking to yourself in negative ways just because you start comparing yourself to other people, or even just because you just start. It's one of those things. It's like a defense mechanism. You're scared. You're scared of taking risk. So you want to play it safe. So your brain starts coming up with excuses and things and starts convincing you like, nah, you can't do it. It's not going to work. Don't take that route. Let's just leave it alone. Let's not do it. Let's do something else that's more safe. Let's focus on this 9-to-5 job. Go there, collect our checks. Say fucking do the same thing. We know what to expect. There's not going to be any surprises. We show up every day. And if we show up every day and do the same thing's going to happen. That's the problem. If you're not happy and even the slightest thought, even for a second, came in for you to do something different to get out of that situation, you know for a fact that you're not happy. So what's the point of you doing that shit every day? So I want to make sure that before I get out of here, everyone understands that I am not perfect. I am trying my best to do this. This is just one of many streams that I'll be doing this month. I'm doing my best to stay consistent. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just my schedule is crazy, man. And then sometimes things overlap. And then when I do have free time, it's that decision of either do I eat, do I sleep, or do I stream? You know what I mean? Because if it gets to that point, that means whatever little time I had already went to my kids, my friends, my family, work especially, and anything else I got to do. I'm in a relationship, I have kids, and all these things that you got to balance out. Then my job is going through stuff right now also because we're going into the summer. So it's like a shift in things. So it's a lot of things that are happening all at once. And at times I ask myself, did I pick the right time to get back into this? Maybe I should wait. And I just feel like I'm always doing that. And if I'm always doing that, that's something that kicks in as a defense mechanism in my mind. So I'm like, what can I do to change it? And the only thing you can do is just shock the system. Do something completely random that your body's not expecting, or your mind, and just do it and try to just break the repetition of you going into that bad habit of making bad decisions, of being scared and staying in that bubble or that box. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Last night, I told myself I was going to stream because I was like, Monday, the beginning of the week, I'm going to stream, I'm going to go. And then I talked myself out of it. I was doing all these things. I was trying to edit clips. I was having some issues syncing up audio and video. And then I was like, you know what? I'll do this tomorrow. But I'm like, but I'm going to stream today. And then I'm like, I'm too tired. So, and I was like, nope, today. I was like, you know what? It's the first. No excuses. Day one, number one. Let's go. Let's do it. So my goal is to stream. I would like to try and stream every day. The only reason I say that is because, again, it's the weekend. I try my best to just recuperate and dedicate it to my kids and, just having my time. It's just 2 days out of the 5 days a week. I would like to try to take this more seriously, but treat it like a job, to the sense where I have specific hours dedicated to this and only this, whether it's streaming, whether it's editing, whether it's posting stuff or networking with people, collaborating, whatever it is. I want to make sure that everything has its proper time. I want to respect everyone's time, especially the podcast, everyone who's taking the time to come in and show love and support, to check out any of the clips, whatever it is. I want to respect everyone's time, especially my own. And the only way that I could do it, from what I've learned through the process of going through this firsthand, is that I just got to be more consistent. And the only way I can be consistent is by just managing what I can control. And I can control when I go live. I just got to be more consistent with it. The same way that I wake up every day in the morning to go to work, to be there by a specific time, I could do the same thing to do live streaming. There's no excuse. The only excuse is that this is for me and I'm not getting paid for it. Put in the same effort that you do for other people's work and your bosses, and so do the same shit for yourself. Show up for yourself the same way you do for other people. Have that same respect for yourself that your friends, your loved ones, and your family have for you, and they believe you can make it and you can do this and you're talented and you're good enough. That lack of dedication, that lack of effort, that lack of trying is a high high form of disrespect for the ones that believe in you. Don't do that to them, and don't do it to yourself. So I hope with all that, people really understand, just because it's quiet doesn't mean it's pointless. You know what I mean? Just give it time. People haven't heard you yet. They haven't seen you. They haven't seen you. You haven't scratched the surface. You got to get through that first layer. You got to get through that first layer. Don't let the fact that people aren't applauding and with the oohs and ahs and ooh get to you and make you feel like, you know what, this isn't getting anywhere. Because there's a lot of people viewing. There's a lot of people watching and like, oh, what is he doing? What's going on? Why are they streaming? What are they posting? Why he even got a profile? Why he changed? Why he changed the logo? You got a website? What's going on with that? You got merch? There's people watching. They're just not saying nothing, but people are watching. You got to remember that. Clocking out is literally what saved me, and I'm ready. Like I'm really just I'm it saved me in the sense where it had me feeling like I didn't have anything to offer people. And through the conversations I was having with people, I saw the value in myself. And clocking out basically saved me by showing the value in myself and the potential that I see of what it could be. You know what I mean? It's like you see Apple and you got to think like the person who made this must be a genius. It must be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's things like that. And I get that feeling when I think of clocking out. I know it could be something dope. I know it could be something amazing. And just for the thought of it, I know it's going to get me through. So again, when I was thinking about walking away from all this stuff, I thought back to clocking out. Why'd I do it? The name, the whole journey, the whole story of it. You know, even if no one else hears it or nothing is good enough to keep me going, you know? And like many other creators who get even one person to support them, the only reason we're still around is because we know it matters. It matters to somebody. And that's all we really want. All we want as independent creators, as artists, all we want is to matter. Is to do something that matters, is to do something that helps people, is to have something that shows or reflects the true value of what we feel that we are or that we have to offer people, and just have others say, you know what, that's fucking dope, that's good enough, you're amazing, you're perfect, you just how you are, you're a great person, you're a talented person, you're a smart person, you're an athletic person, you're just, that's all we want. But again, the only way that anyone is going to be able to say that to you or give you that feeling is if you put it out there. No one's going to know what you're doing if you don't put it out there. So whatever you're doing, man, focus on it. Put in the time, put in the effort, stay consistent, stay motivated. And the people are going to find you. It's going to come your way. A lot of times I talk like this and people get confused. And I want to make it really clear that a lot of these things, I do it for myself. When it comes to the streaming and the podcast and stuff, as a way to document my journey, the conversations, the thoughts that I have. And whenever I'm lost, I go and I backtrack on it. That's literally the main reason why I started really recording all these things, just so I could backtrack and log and document my journey myself and go back like if it was a diary or a notebook and listen to the things that people would say or my own thoughts and ideas and how I got out of it. And so if I could benefit from it in some type of way, I hope that you guys can too. And yeah, with that being said, we're streaming for an hour. Hey, what's going on? We're getting out of here. I'm good. Please don't try to sell me a banner or some logo stuff. I'm good. I'm sorry, but I've been getting that all day. I'm about to get out of here. Everyone, I'm going to be going live again tomorrow. You're going to be seeing me. These will get more entertaining and stuff as things go on and how things start moving forward. I do have a lot of things planned, but I got to get the specific stuff out of the way first. after we get that stuff out of the way and we start, building the foundation and setting some ground rules, we'll be able to get into all the fun stuff, the raffles, the giveaways, and all that. We have more guest speakers coming up. I got a lot of people that are from the gym, that are gym people. I got a mic. I'm gonna start doing different stuff. I'm gonna start like walking around. Oh shit, maybe not. I'm gonna start. I want to start like walking around in the stream and stuff, because I got like these green screen things that they're not on right now, but I like these green screen stuff that have lights and they make the effects and everything way better. But right now I'm just like sitting down. That's why it's like that. But I got a bunch of little like things that we're gonna be doing with the live stream with clocking out. But yeah, like I was mentioning, I got a lot of people that want to be guest speakers. That it's the gym world, from bodybuilders to strong men, like heavy lifters. I had a few of them on here before, but I got a good amount that want to come on now. MMA fighters. What else? I got more tattoo artists that are from around the way here. So maybe we could do something where we'll do like a vlog or a video and go to the shop, maybe even get a tattoo or two or something. I don't know, update the ones that I have now. But yeah, man, there's a lot of different things coming on. Again, also, if you are watching or if you're listening and you would like to be a guest speaker, hit me up. The conversations we have on here are fun. I make clips and everything like that, put it out there, try to shed some light on what you're doing, bring some attention to you and your profile, your project, your service, whatever it is that you're doing. And yeah, man, this is what it is. This is what we're doing. But I'm gonna get up out of here. It's getting late. We're streaming for an hour. I appreciate anyone who came by and showed some love and support. Thank you guys so much. Again, for anyone, or like a handful of people every week keep going on and they send me DMs. I truly appreciate it. For anyone who's been going to the website and getting a shirt or a hoodie or a hat or whatever it is, there's a bunch of different things on there. You can go around and play around and search, even if you don't see it displayed, and you might find some goodies. But if you do make a purchase, please let me know. Please, if you sign the information that's in there, you fill out everything with your digital wallets and all that stuff like that, at the times that the POAPs will be ready for any of the merchandise stuff. For those who don't know, you just go on the website and you'll be able to read it and learn more. POAPs will automatically just go in there. So whether you have your POAP set with email or whether it's a wallet, once they're available for this month there will be POAPs available. Whether you're making purchases, whether you're tuning into the live stream, make sure that you go to the website, make sure that you provide all the information. And when the POAPs are available, they're just going to automatically go into the wallets that you guys have provided. But make sure that you follow the instructions, because there are certain things that you must do or prove or show or say or whatever to actually have as proof that you participated in some way, shape, or form to be even eligible to earn the POAP. It's not one of those things you're just going to give me your email and you're going to get it. You have to be present. You have to have done something. There's a list of things. Like I said, go on the website, check it out. We'll also do a live stream. We'll go more into it and everything like that. But yes, so I'm going to try it out. We're going to try this journey of live streaming every day this week, or at least just every Monday to Friday for the month. And try it out like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. I love y'all. Stay safe. Have a great night. Peace.